one. Good afternoon. Today we are going to present the CDC Environmental Justice Index, which is developed by CDC. So just to introduce you about the environmental justice, so what is environmental justice? Environmental justice is an equitable treatment of all people and their meaningful participation in the creation, enforcement, monitoring of environmental laws, regulations, policies, regardless of their race, color, national origin, or level of income. EG helps to advance health equity and eradication of environmental health disparities by treating all people fairly, meaningfully in environmental health policies, research, and programs, and guaranteeing equal access to a healthy environment. So, reason for environment. Why do we need environmental justice? Environmental hazards disproportionately affect people of color, disadvantaged communities, low income, and indigenous people. Those populations and communities face environmental threats that contribute to health disparities, are underserved, and are surrounded by social inequalities. The combination of environmental risk and social equities has a cumulative disproportionate impact that impedes optimal health and environmental justice for those populations. So the reason we are talking about environmental justice is this. So CDC Environmental Justice Index. What is CDC Environmental Justice Index? It is the first national and place-based tool designated to measure the cumulative impacts of environmental burden through the lens of human health and health equity. This work builds on previous efforts to create age screening and mapping tools at state, federal levels, including the Environmental Justice Screening Method, California Enviro Screen, and the U.S. Environmental Protection EPA age screen. The tool was developed by CDC and in partnership with the Department of Health and Human Services. The Environmental Justice Index uses data from U.S. Census Bureau, EPA, U.S. Mine Safety and Health Administration, and CDC Prevention to rank the cumulative impacts of environmental injustice on health for census tracts. So this is a tool. As you can see, there is a map which is for the 48 states. So you can use this map, and you can go to the website http://onemapcdc.gov, and you can check what's happening in your neighborhood by putting the address, whatever address you want, and it will give you all the indicator score, and at the same time the cumulative score for overall, at the same time the domain scores. How do I get this data? So you will go to the website and you can access in the website. You can also download data. So by downloading, you can use for different research purposes. You can write a proposal and add the information from the website and just to back up your proposal. So purpose of the tool is to health officials and prioritize addressing the population that need the most, analyze the unique local factor driving cumulative impacts on health to inform policy decision-making and shape public health interventions, and inform the public about their community, establish meaningful goals, and measure progress towards environmental justice and health equity. So what is cumulative impact? Cumulative impacts are the overall depreciation of the human health that results from a combination of social factors, environmental burden, and pre-existing health problems. The cumulative impact refers to the combined effects of multiple actions or events on a particular system, environment, or community. It occurs when the efforts of these individual actions or events add up over time to create a greater impact than the sum of their individual effects. So the long-term exposure of environmental pollutants and community stress can have cumulative effects like pollution on the air, water, natural resource, or lack of access to resources like high-quality health care. So what are the issues, the cumulative issues? What's happening? So there is racial residential segregation, means there is an effect on education, poverty, spatial mismatch. If you have urban sprawl, you have noise, mental health, overall crowding, indoor and outdoor air pollution. Inaccessible resources, if there are inaccessible resources, you have lack of jobs, transportation, fresh food, and health care. If you have duplicated housing, lead poisoning, asthma, injury. If you have community design issues like lack of parks and others, you have obesity, lack of parks, etc. So it's going to have an impact. So this is a continuation of the cumulative impact. So you have origin of systematic racism, redlining, disinvestment, so climate migration, pollution exposure. So it will hit heat islands, unsafe water, extreme weather risks will have overall an impact. So what is the Environmental Justice Index? So the EJI identifies and characterizes the cumulative effects of environmental, social, health conditions facing communities across the United States. So the framework is you have environmental burden, socioeconomic vulnerability, social health vulnerability. So by combining all, you are going to create the EGI framework to produce the cumulative EGI. So cumulative environmental burden. What does it mean, cumulative environmental burden? The cumulative environmental burden can be understood as the sum of activities that cause environmental pollution or negatively affect environment and human health. The approach taken here is to quantify cumulative environmental includes assessment of features, environment that contribute to good health, and features of the environment that may be detrimental to human health. So what are those environmental burden indicators? So first, you can classify like air pollution issues, potential hazardous building environment, transportation, and water pollution. So in each, we have ozone, PM2.5, diesel, toxic air cancer, toxic release, treatment storage, risk management, coal, lead, related to recreational parks, House Bill pre-1980, which is related to lead, is the area walkability, high volume roads, railroad, airports, and impaired surface waters. So what about the social vulnerability index? Social vulnerability is a term used to describe the potential harm that external strains on human health could have on a community. Disasters caused by nature or people or diesel epidemics. For example, stressors, such as stressors. Both human suffering and financial loss can be decreased by reducing the social vulnerability of the community. Social vulnerability populations include those who have special needs, such as, but not limited, people without vehicles, people with disabilities, older people, people with limited English proficiency. So the social vulnerability is related to ethnic minority status, socioeconomic status, household characteristics, housing type. So under age, you have poverty, no high school diploma, unemployment, housing tenure, lack of health insurance, lack of internet access, age 65 and older, age 17 and younger, civilian with disability, group quarters, mobile homes are in the social vulnerability domain. What about the health vulnerability? Indicators characterizing health vulnerability are intended to capture the prevalence of certain pre-existing health conditions which represent a measurable form of biological susceptibility that can influence morbidity and mortality associated with environmental burden. So in the health, we have asthma, cancer, high blood pressure, diabetic, premental health. So this is a summary. So the overall environmental justice ranking is based on all those indicators. So first, you calculate the individual indicators. After that, you go to the domain, which is social vulnerability, environmental burden, and health vulnerability to produce the overall environmental justice rank. So, but all this is done using GIS. So what is GIS? A geographic information system is a computer system for capturing, storing, coding, analyzing, and displaying geospatial data. Without GIS, it's hard to do the calculations for all those indicators and produce a map. So GIS allows the geographic features in a real-world location to be digitally represented and stored in a database, presented in a map form, and analyzed and manipulated to address some problems. Geospatial data describe both locations and characteristics of the feature. So as you can see, if you have a street data, building, vegetation, you can include all this to display in a map. So all this is related to spatial analysis. So you have a location, and you need also spatial analysis based on the space, based on the location, you need analysis. So spatial analysis is a process of studying entities by examining, assessing, evaluating, modeling spatial data features such as locations, attributes, and their relationship that reveal the geometric or geographic properties of the data. So the spatial data analysis can be classified into different, like vector, raster, spatial interpolation, and others. So all this data is calculated based on census tract. So a census tract code may not be used more than once in a single county. So in another county, maybe a repetition, but if it is outside the county, it's unique. So a particular census tract within a nation must have identified by its state, its county, and tract code. So it has 11 digits. So for example, as you can see here, this is Maryland. So 24 is for Maryland. For Prince George County, it is 033, and the tract ID is 807200. So each census tract is classified or identified based on this code. So how the age scoring method? The tract level ranking for individual indicators, models, and others are based on percentile ranks. So all the data, the real data, like for example, if you have nitrogen concentration in milligrams from 20 to 5,000, you have to convert that data from 0 to 100 based on the percentile ranking. So the lowest will be 0, the highest will be 100. So that's the way all those calculations are done. So for a given census tract, ranks for environmental model, social model, calculated, described. Percentile ranks for all individual indicators in each model were summed, produced as a model score, which is for the domain. Model scores were the ranked, produced model ranking between 0 and 1, with 0 representing the lowest and 1 representing with the highest vulnerability. Means if you say it's 100, it's the highest, 0 is the lowest for all the indicators and the overall EGIs. So what does mean percentile? A percentile is a term that describes how a score compares to other from the same set. So this is an example of an exam. If someone scored 97, what does this mean? This means there are 97% of the students are below that grade, and the rest 3% are above that grade. So it's more or less the same, but in environmental justice calculation is 100 means bad, 0 means good. So the overall EG score is calculated by summing the ranked scores for 3 models: the environmental burden, social vulnerability, and health vulnerability model. So first calculated the environmental, the social vulnerability model, the health. Then after calculated, it's summed. Then it will go to the overall EGI. So if each is 0 to 1, 0 to 1, 0 to 1, so when you add it, it's going to be 0 to 3. Then you convert that from 0 to 1. The whole calculation will be converted based on this. So this, it looks like this. The CDC EGI looks like this. So any person can go to the website and Google, okay, I need Maryland, Baltimore County, and see what's happening in each area. So as you can see, the classification for the ranking RPL EGI is from low to high. The the green one is, which is more affected by issues, but the low one, which is the light one, is relatively fine. So you can specifically like put an address. For example, here's 1955 Chesapeake Avenue, Curtis Bay, Maryland. So it takes you to specific to that census tract, and it shows you what's happening in that particular area. When you click in each census tract, as you can see, the highlighted one So it's giving you census tract, District of Columbia, how many people live there in that census tract, which is 2,410. The AGI rank from the whole US is 97 percentile. The environmental burden is 91. The social vulnerability rank is 0.86. And you can click also in individual indicators like air pollution. The overall air pollution is 0.89, but ozone 75, PM2.9 65. So the highest in that area is, as you can see, particulate matter among the air pollution indicators. This is, I think, Baltimore City. So you can see the Baltimore Census Tract 701, Baltimore City, Maryland, total population, and the AGI rank is 100, which is the highest in the whole country. This means it is very bad. So as you can see, the burden rank environmental is 98, vulnerability is 99, air pollution is 93, and PM 2.57, diesel 94, and air cancer is 79. So when you Google to that particular area and click in the specific census tract, it will give you all the information you need. So this is in Philly. So it's the census tract is 19501, Philadelphia County, Pennsylvania. So as you can see, it has a population of 4,432, AGI rank 95, environmental burden 89, and social vulnerability 97, air pollution 93, ozone 82, 86 is PM 2.5. So you can do similar for all. So this is Region 3 map. Region 3 map means Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, West Virginia, DC, and Virginia. So as you can see, this is 5 classification from 0 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, 60 to 80, 80 to 100. So as you can see, the red means bad, and the yellow means relatively okay. So those are the terms, because I'm going to also add some statistics. So just to give you what does it mean to avoid any confusion. So health vulnerability model means HVM. Environmental burden index is EBI. Social vulnerability index is SVI. SPL is summed percentile. Environmental burden is EB. Social vulnerability is SV. RPL is ranked percentile. So based on this explanation, I'm going to go to the next slide. Okay. So as you can see, in Region 3, which is the EPA Region 3, we say top 25 worst affected census tracts in the Mid-Atlantic region. So where are those located? So as you can see, 4 census tracts in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and West Virginia are among the top 25 worst affected, respectively. This means among the top 25, 13 are in Pennsylvania, 5 are in Maryland, 4 are in West Virginia. There is no census tract from DC, DE, and Delaware from the top 25 worst regions. So as you can see, there is no DC and Delaware among the top 25 census tracts. So the classification is based on the overall RPL AGI, which is a percentile rank for the whole region, the red one. So what about if we compare states? What's happening? If we say greater than 75, greater than or equal to 75, and greater than or equal to 90 percentile, where are those located? So as you can see, it is West Virginia has the highest percentage above the 75 and 90 percentile, followed by DC and Pennsylvania. So West Virginia, 64% of the census tracts scored greater than or equal to 75, means it is very bad in West Virginia, followed by DC and Pennsylvania. At the same time, when you say, okay, what about greater than 90 percentile, it's almost the same, West Virginia, followed by DC and Pennsylvania. So Virginia is relatively fine compared to the other states. What about if we go individual states? Okay, someone may live in DC and may say, okay, we have ward divisions within DC, so what's happening Ward 1, what's happening Ward 8 or 5? So we try to analyze based on the ward classifications in DC. As you can see, Ward 7 has the highest, which is 0.87 on average, followed by Ward 5 and Ward 8. This means, as you can see, southeast and northeast part of DC is highly affected by those environmental issues. So Ward 7 scored the highest AGI, followed by Ward 5 and Ward 8. So compared to the others, Ward 3, which is the west part of DC, is the less affected ward in Washington, D.C. So where are those census tracts highly affected? The top 15 worst affected census tracts in D.C. As you can see, the individual census tracts can be selected also based on this classification. So most of the census tracts with the highest AGI are located in southeast DC. What about Maryland? So the top 15 worst affected census tracts in Maryland, as you can see, are located in Baltimore City. This means within Maryland, Baltimore City is highly affected by environmental injustice issues from the state. What about if we compare the counties in Maryland? Top 10 worst affected counties in Maryland are Baltimore City scored on average 0.77, followed by Dorchester, Washington, Somerset, Allegheny, Wicomico, and Prince George, Caroline, Kent, and Baltimore the county. So as you can see, Baltimore City is highly affected by environmental problems from the state. What about Pennsylvania? The top 15 worst affected tracts in Pennsylvania. So as you can see, Allegheny County has 3 census tracts among the top 15. The number one affected census tract is in Lackawanna County, but still there are also Philadelphia and Berks counties among the top 15 census tracts. What about if we use the county statistics and compare the counties? So it will be Philadelphia, which is 0.78, followed by Clearfield, North Berland, Mifflin, Fayette, Armstrong. So it is possible to see based on the overall cumulative AGI, and at the same time you can also check the individual vulnerabilities, whether it is environmental and burden. But here we focused on the overall AGI for the comparison purposes. What about Virginia? Top 15 worst affected census tracts in Virginia. So Richmond City has 4 census tracts among the top 15. So Chesterfield, Danville, and Portsmouth have 2 census tracts on each.
That's all of Virginia? Or?
Yeah, so Virginia has around 700 something census tracts, but here we are just taking the top 15. Among the top 15, so Richmond City has 4. So when we compare the county will give us a different image. So as you can see, top 7 worst affected counties in Virginia are Emporia City, Petersburg City, Franklin City, Hopewell City, Galax City, Martinsville City, Donville, Nottoway, and the others. So when you check the individual census tracts, it gives you the individual result. But when you average it, like when you average, for example, Richmond, because in Richmond there are also areas with very low AGI score, so when you average it, it didn't count. So the other cities and counties become on the top. But the worst affected census tract is within Richmond City. But when you average it with the others, it lowers the volume. The next one is West Virginia. As you can see, West Virginia is just almost whole state is covered by red. So this means it's very bad. So top 15 worst affected census tracts. Cobble County has 4 census tracts. Kanawha and Ohio County have 3 census tracts among the top 15 census tracts within West Virginia. When we compare the counties, Wayne County is the highest, followed by Logan, McDowell, Mason, Hancock, Fayette, Westdale, Mingo, Cobell, and Bonnie are the affected counties in West Virginia. What about Delaware? As you can see, Delaware has also its own issues. So Kent County, on average, have 0.73, Newcastle 0.51, Sussex 0.44. Top 15 worst affected census tracts in Delaware are Newcastle has the highest, which is 11 census tracts among the top 15 census tracts. So, okay, we have CDC, AGI. So what are the limitations? Every tool has its own, good and bad. So what are the limitations? So first, it is important to recognize that injustice occurs locally. High-level tools such as AGI cannot capture all social, environmental, or issues that a community may face. Because when they develop this tool, it is national level. National level means what can we get data from national level. So when they see, they don't include every indicator which affects every community. They collect data which are more available data to do the tool, to develop the tool. So this is going to give you a highlight what's happening in your region, in your city, or in your area, but you have to add additional information which is available locally to improve. For example, if you are writing a proposal, you can use this tool, but you have to add locally available data also to back up, to improve your success to find funding. So the EGA relies on historical data gathered by various institutions on varying time scales, meaning the GI is not entirely reflecting current or future conditions. For example, next week, what's happening? Hurricane Mayhem or flooding Mayhem. It doesn't include that. So this is one limitation. The environmental indicators included in the EGA do not represent detailed measure of risk or exposure. So for example, maybe a wildfire come in a neighborhood or something. So that doesn't come to this tool because it's locally available to that area. So the risk from fire or from flooding may not be assessed using this tool. So that's why this is a screening tool. So indicators intend to only screening level. It helps you to screen what's happening in your area, but you have to also back up using available data. At the same time, the AGI 22 does not include measures for Alaska, Hawaii, and the territory. So if you want data for Alaska, this tool doesn't give you right now, but in the future, they may include this one because of they don't have enough data to add. So on summary, from the top worst tracts affected in the region, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and West Virginia are highly affected. But overall, the metropolitan areas, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, have the highest scores in the region. For example, in D.C., Ward 7 has the highest score, which means it's highly affected by those indicators included in this tool. Philadelphia County also have the highest scores in Pennsylvania. In Virginia, Emporia, and Pittsburgh City in Virginia score the highest. So, I mean, if you go to the website, you can answer different questions based on this tool. What is the advantage of cumulative age score? I mean, what's cumulative age score? Cumulative age score is giving you a cumulative information or overall information. So it gives you what's happening in your area, and it is helpful. Does the CDC tool include climate indicators? No, it didn't include climate indicators because CDC, they won't focus more on health issues and the impact, so they didn't include, but I think in the future they may include climate indicators. What type of problems can be addressed using this tool and other questions? I mean, it is, well, thank you for the PowerPoint presentation, but if we are going to try to show you how the tool works and what can you do, so go to the website and we will try to show or demonstrate the tool by itself. Or we can, if you have any questions, we can also start. So as you can see, the tool looks like this in the onemapcdc.gov. So anyone can go to this website and check what's happening in the neighborhood. They can check county data. They can check census tract data. So if you click in one area, for example, can you Google like go to Baltimore? So we're going to check like by state, Maryland. So when you do that, it's coming to Maryland, but when you check add county, that's the county, but go to the city. Okay, so zoom in. Can you zoom in? Yeah, zoom in. Okay. Now click one in the green and one in the light one. So as you can see here, the census tract is 80101 Baltimore City, and total population is 3,000. AGI is 081. 94 is the burden, and social vulnerability is 842. Pollution is 86. So you can click on the light one. Okay, so the light one, as you can see, the AG rank is 0.31 because it has low burden, low social rank, and low. But the air pollution is high because it's around the same area, but the population hazard is 0.6. As you can see, national priority list is 0. There is nothing there. Risk management, built in transportation is 0.18. This means there are many transportation in that area. So you will see all the indicators and the cumulative AGI. Can you go to Washington, D.C.? Yeah, zoom in. Yeah, so as you can see, northeast, southeast is high, and the western part, which is the gray one, is low. So air pollution 8.9, 8.1, and built environment is low. Transportation 7.8, water pollution 6, and socioeconomic status 7.8. Oh, sorry.
I can't hear what you're saying. You're saying social.
Yeah, I'm just reading the one. Can you do it?
I didn't hear what you said. Social what?
Socioeconomic status.
Economic
Yeah, yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Go up. So as you can see, it is, she clicked on the western part of DC, the AGI score is 0.14, which is very, very low. And if you want to see what's happening, you can just go down, see there is no potential hazards, toxic materials in the area, transportation infrastructure is good, water pollution is 6, socioeconomic status is 0.12, and household characteristics for 1. So you can compare your neighborhoods and the surrounding areas, and it's useful tool, especially if you are planning to write a proposal to get funding for your local areas. Can you go to Philadelphia? Yeah, go to Philadelphia.
And this is just called EGI?
Yeah, this is CDC. Yeah, CDC, EGI. Yeah. CDC, EGI. County, Philadelphia.
While you're getting that, can I ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
How did you use the tool? Like, give us an example of what you say when you're writing your grant using this tool, because this is great information in that this tool is more extensive than just like one indicator, even though you said it's not doing climate change.
Yes.
You know, a lot of the other tools EPA is using are like more measuring the carbon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I like, how would you indicate some of the information here in your, when you're writing those proposals you just
Yeah,
spoke about?
so when you write a proposal, what are you going to do? Okay, my area looks like this. So you are going to introduce, you are going to write a background where you live, all this information. After that, you are going to write the social characteristics of my area. It looks like this. According to CDC, it says this. And the health, you are going to say the CDC AGI says this, and you are going to do the report from here. If you can't do it, we can also help you. SAGE, we support community. So when they say, "Oh, we are applying funding from EPA or from other agencies, or we need help," so we go to this website and we download the data We create maps for the area, for the specific area, and we give them. So they will attach all these maps and data with their proposal to apply. So that's our job, actually. We can help you with that. So as you can see, this is Philly also. Can you zoom in a little bit? So as you can see, more or less majority areas in DC are just green, which is highly affected by environmental issues. So as you can see, it's like 9, 7, 8, 3, 9, 6. So it's very high. So that's why the overall is more than 95 percentile. So it's very bad. But there are few areas in Philadelphia also with good score, which is low AGI score. Any questions? Yeah.
Is it possible, is the platform having like sketch tools you can go in and say select by polygon instead of just selecting tract?
You can use outside tools to clip whatever you want. But do you use GIS?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so if you use GIS, you can have the shapefile of this data.
Oh, you mean shapefile? Oh.
Yes.
I mean, like in the environment itself, like in EJ screen, you can select by.
Yeah, in EPA, yes, you can do that, yeah. I don't think you can do that. This is census-based, so the information it gives you is only based on the census tract. So when you click in one area, it gives you, even if you create polygon or whatever, it gives you only one. But if you are a GIS expert, you can do it. You can download the whole data shapefile and do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, I work with novices, you know, the community-based organizations.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, they're not going to be able to pull shapefiles out.
Well, we can help you. As I said, our job is helping communities to get access of this data. The reason we are presenting is for the community first to understand the availability of that tool, and at the same time, we also can help you by downloading the data, creating maps, and whatever reports you want.
Yeah, I mean, I help to develop ToxMap, help develop EJ screen.
Yeah, yeah. So
I don't need help, but it's just the people in the community.
yeah.
I mean, when they're, like as she mentioned, if they're writing a grant.
Yeah.
And they want to show their statement of need, the need, you know, based upon so on and so forth. Yeah, but, is it possible to, say, bring a shapefile or point file layer into this environment, or
No.
was this pretty much?
Oh, to add your own shapefile? No, I don't think so. You can do that. So as I say, this is just to give you an access whatever they have.
Yeah.
Okay, to give you, then you can do whatever you want after you download the data.
Oh, yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, for
Mhm.
novice users,
Mhm.
understand what's in the attribute.
Yeah, yeah, uh-huh.
It's just really,
Yeah.
good.
Great. I mean,
Oh, just one more thing. Are you able to create layouts? Like pull this out and have like a layout with the title, you know, the titles,
yeah, the one we
scale.
yeah, can you come to the PowerPoint?
He might mean like a 3D, you mean like make it
No,
like
3D?
Like, one of the issues is that a lot of communities will produce a map, there'll be no legend, there'll be no scale. It's just like a screenshot. But can you pull a?
Yeah, that's a PowerPoint I showed you is from that website. Can you go up? Oh, hold on. I can't do that. I have the tool here. So all this data is from the CDC. So we created only for Delaware. We download this data, and this is Delaware, what it look like. And we average the county doesn't come with it. So we added the county to do the statistics. So this is a GIS, additional GIS thing we did. This is West Virginia, only West Virginia.
Pull this right out.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. You can do this. So, for example, if you go to DC, there is nothing about ward in the CDC things, but we added the ward layout so we can show the community what's happening in their ward. Instead of saying, okay, census tract X looks like, I mean, in general, the community doesn't understand what census tract, even though they don't know where is the boundary.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why we added this layer, and not only we added the ward layer, but we also give them the information, what's the average in your ward. We can also add the district level, the political district. So because someone may go to the elected official, I live in District A, and okay, I have a problem with this information, he can give them. Instead of, oh, my census tract has issue. It's very hard to give to policymakers and others, even funding agencies. Instead of saying, my census tract looks like this, they don't understand even what that means. So even for the educated, people, census tract is mostly with census office. Yeah, so I work like 10 years with federal government, and we use census tract and county level, state level maps because, as a data, but we never deep inside and analyze census tract information.
Yeah, understood.
Mm-hmm.
When I do workshops, I build in a census geography because most people don't block.
Yeah.
And some people think that zip codes and census tracts.
Yeah, zip code is also another thing. You can also put a zip code on the top and at least to give you, my zip code looks like this, because zip code is easily understood by many people. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
So you said we contact you, or who do we contact when we're, because, they always ask who's your team, and you want to make sure that you are not looking at it from, okay, let me go ahead and set up everything by myself. I want to make sure I get the buy-in. Who do we contact at CDC? What department to
Oh, you mean
help us
CDC?
build these things?
So if you contact us, as I said, we can give you specific information based on your request. So I'm just going to show you the contact. You can send to this.
Oh, to that.
Yeah, so you have Sage Center, Gmail, Dr. Wilson's email, myself, and Bukola. You can send us email, and you can specifically like, okay, I need this, and based on the request, we will try to help you. You can take a picture.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
And to answer your question, sir, we also engage in community engagement. So we can reach out to those communities. Like you said, they don't know how to manipulate this thing. We can reach out to them and give them the information.
Yeah, we do also workshops, not only this like symposium every year, but we also do workshops for the hub. We call them hub community or any. Yeah. So maybe Prince George County may ask, oh, we need this information, and please can you come and show us whatever? We can go and show.
I'm very familiar. I've known Jacoby since he was.
Oh, yeah.
He
Okay.
was in undergrad. And,
Oh, okay.
I've known him in Bingham for 30 years.
Okay, well, great.
Very familiar.
And one of the other workshops that's going on concurrent, like with this current workshop, they were saying in Baltimore, which you showed data from Baltimore, there like some systemic problems that have existed over the years that people moving into Baltimore are not aware of, like the water was poisoned, you know, and so EPA has it in the data, but yet it's not given to new residents. How do you account for some of the systemic issues that were, you know, that are there, still plaguing them, but still like no one's giving that new information, not disseminating?
Oh, well, I mean, as you know, this is more legal question.
Oh, okay.
So for us, our job is informing the community.
Right, exactly.
So we are showing, for example, in the other tool we have, which called Mid-Atlantic Age Screen, we have 65 indicators. 65 indicators. So we show them all those indicators in your area, what's happening. Whether it is asthma, whether it is lead, whether it is cancer-related, we can show you. But this information we give you is for your information to use it as a screening tool for your, maybe to talk to your attorney, or maybe to talk to your policymaker, to the local mayor, or whatever. But, you know, this is a little bit beyond our capability and mandate to deal with that.
But do you tell them the source? Like, you know, the water, do you indicate that the water has high amounts of da-da-da in it?
No,
and
the data is,
something-
this is federal data.
Right.
This is available in their website.
And how do you disseminate it to the people in the communities? How do you share
Well,
it?
this is one option we have.
Just
One option we have. But as I said, we have community, I don't know, where do you live?
I live in Bethesda.
Oh, Bethesda. So we have, I think, contacts in Baltimore City. I think they were also presenting this afternoon or yesterday afternoon about the area, especially Curtis Bay. So there are communities around PG counties. We have also Philadelphia. We have also in Richmond, I think, DC, Empower DC. So those are local community centers, but they need a little bit help from us. So if you live in Bethesda, there may be another, community center which can help you and address some of the problems. So when you need data and when you need information, you can reach us, and we will provide you all the data you need. Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you very much for coming, and really appreciate. We enjoyed the discussions. Anytime, contact us. And thank you. Have a nice trip and enjoy.